online broadcast network, AFTERBUZZ TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AFTERBUZZ TV, the destination for TV superfans. Producing aftershows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows. Interviewing celebrities and showrunners. And bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Hello and welcome to the Modern Family After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. It is Season 7, Episode 13. I'm the only one not doing a bit of a dance. I should get into a...
We do this every week.
Get a bit of a dance.
We do.
Thunk in the trunk. I'm your host, Steve Kauffman. You can find me on Twitter, at Steve Kauffman. That is Kauffmann, but I'm not alone. We're going to jump right into this. I am the Steve Kauffman.
Yes! You're Steve Kauffman.
Who only Instagrams on Thursday. To my left.
I'm a coughing man, too. I'm Lindsey Miller.
I see what you did there.
I see what you did there.
I have a little bit of cough. We're all Kauffman. Okay, bad jokes. I'm Lindsey Miller. You can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and Periscope at Rockin' Mama Life.
And I'm Khaliel Abooboo. You can find me on Twitter and Instagram at Khaliel Abooboo.
And I'm checking the chat live. If you're watching us live on YouTube, also please let us know in the comments anything you liked, didn't like about the show, all the fun things. And now we wait for them to talk, right?
I think we're supposed to talk.
We sit here in complete silence till somebody says something. No, we don't do that.
No, that would be awkward.
I think we should get the ball rolling, and then they'll probably be like, "Oh, but yeah."
We'll inspire them.
Yeah.
I'll try it your way, but I think
do
if we just sat here in complete silence, we'd get more responses. But
Or we could cough some more.
Not good responses. I'm just gonna cough.
but your cough doesn't sound anything like help, which is what Cam and Mitch encountered. Which is what Cam and Mitch encountered with the Wilkersons.
Like kelp.
Nice segue.
That was good. Look at us with the segues today.
Let's see what you did. Oh,
Yeah.
the segue.
Oh, man.
Oh, look at this.
Mind blown.
After show done.
Blown.
Okay. Was that 2 minutes? This is the whole thing.
Anyway,
Thunk in the
so
trunk.
Cam and Mitch, they're like Airbnb-ing their top floor.
Yes.
And they have some creepy tenants.
Yes. Which I love the concept of this, of them doing like the Airbnb, because I think it's a fun way to have just like
and we talked
random
and we
stuff.
talked about this before, and I thought for sure that they like owned the house, but apparently they're renting that.
No, they do. They bought the house. They bought the upstairs unit, and they've decided to rent it out to make more money.
Yeah.
Could never have enough money.
I mean, duh.
Yeah.
And then, so the big one is Nosy.
And the red one
the
is...
bigger one.
I don't forget what the
I forgot
red
what
one
he said
was.
about the red one.
Well, it was all. It was all what he felt in the moment.
In the moment, yeah.
Yes. Creepy upstairs visitors.
That felt like a standard story, like sitcom-y plot. Like that.
Yeah.
This show tends to do that.
Sitcom.
Yeah, this show tends to do that a lot, where it's just like, well,
It's all right, though. That's why I come to sitcoms, honestly.
yeah, like
that's why I'm here.
Maybe I missed the boat on the standard sitcom plot of the creepy people that were the figurine restorers.
Okay, strange
being
people
upstairs.
come in.
Strange people come
big
in.
misunderstanding. Investigate, ruin everything, find out it's not as bad as we thought it was. I'm so sorry, everything's hunky-dory at the end.
Because Modern Family would be a completely different show if they turned out to actually be murderers.
Yeah.
No,
Like, that
I mean,
can't happen.
obviously they weren't murderers. But my question to you is, are Chuckle Chums real? Like, is that a real thing? Do any of you out there collect Chuckle Chums?
Google it.
What's the going rate for a Chuckle Chum?
They seem. I'm gonna say no. Chuckle Chums aren't real.
They have it
because they weren't prominent. They weren't prominently displayed upstairs. Like they look like like an art department made a bunch of just random figurines. Whereas if it were like prominent display of something of a known brand, maybe I'm wrong. Maybe
like
they
the
just
Segway.
Well,
whatever it's called, the hoverboard thing.
Well, he came up with a weird name for it, but we'll get to that when we get to that.
Chuckle Chums is real.
Chuckle Chums are real, folks.
It's an entertainer. He's an entertainer.
For the win.
He's an entertainer. And he lives in United Kingdom.
Okay. And then they make
Chuckle Chums.
Then they make action
Apparently
figures of Chuckle
they're not
Chum.
figurines, but there's an actual person,
It's a person. Chuckle Chops and Chums.
Okay.
Google it. I did not make this up.
Boom.
He's got a Facebook.
There's a theme song.
Wow. That's the more you know.
Yeah.
Oh. That's what we should have opened with.
It reminds me of like lawn gnomes, like gnome. Like
Yeah.
They were like
gnomes.
tiny lawn gnomes, essentially, is what they were going for. But in typical...
If only you guys could see my phone out there. Sorry.
But I enjoyed... For what it was, I enjoyed this. That it was clearly like, well, they're clearly not going to be murderers. This is going to be a huge misunderstanding. But I do like the shows. This season specifically has done a very good job of like having the giant payoff be like, no, he's going to destroy an entire room full of stuff.
Oh yeah.
But it'll still be okay.
Yeah.
It'll still be okay. They're still going to be renting to people. Their Yelp reviews are going to be fine. Because how else will we get cool people living living upstairs again?
See, I almost wish it had like really damaged their Yelp reviews. So now we have to have like super creepers coming in.
Yeah, but they need to.
And they need to like sweet talk them into giving good reviews so they can get good renters in there.
Similar to people on eBay who sell stuff at a lot. They sell gift cards at like a $5 loss.
I didn't even know that
to try
existed.
or like paper clips.
that.
Like people on eBay and Amazon like sell stuff for next to no money. But that it's worth next to no money. So something that's worth 10 cents, they'll sell for 5 cents. But they'll sell like thousands of them. So as a seller, they'll have a seller rating that's like, it's a way to inflate your seller rating for a low amount of money.
We've done this before.
Yeah.
Maybe.
It sounds very well thought out. Mr. Kauffman.
Some of us are eBay consultants.
Okay.
That's a thing.
Sure.
Like
are you hiring?
Chuckle Chum restorer.
So speaking of being a consultant to someone's business, Gloria is in the salsa business, the hot sauce business.
Hot sauce.
She's a hot sauce.
And she has stanchion's not the right word, a cardboard cutout with a mechanical arm
Yes.
that everyone's taking selfies with. And
amazing.
I wish they invited me to set that day because I would have taken.
I would definitely do it.
Oh yeah, all I could think was like what Khaliel Abooboo would have done.
I would get creative.
I
Just a
would
selfie is not
PG
enough.
Selfie.
I think I would have periscoped with it. I would have just periscoped with
probably
it for
would've
like
taken
2
photos
minutes
with it.
and then just screenshotted the periscope.
There's just something about like statues and life-size people that make you want to just like take inappropriate selfies next to them. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, I still go to the wax museum
there's
from
a
time to
reason
time.
why. Like I remember when I
Exactly.
moved in Paris, and like I just remember seeing like statues in the gardens, and like all of the inappropriate the private areas of the body parts would be like more worn
Yeah.
than others, you know, and you're like, somebody might have touched that part, you know.
Yeah.
It's
So
funny.
Jay doesn't like this very much.
No,
I wouldn't
he's
if I was
threatened by her
No.
cardboard. Like,
That would really bother me.
So he took it. And then he later admits that that's because he's retired.
well, I think he would have taken it even if he wasn't
I
retired.
would, yeah.
But
I could
yeah,
be
like
working
jealousy
full-time,
is
I would
jealousy.
say,
But like,
yeah.
I think he's coming to terms with the fact that he's retired.
Well, he's very concerned with the size of the cheese cubes in the grocery store, which is
That is a real thing, by the way. I don't know.
I don't know. I feel like
I
that's
don't
something
know.
that
I don't-
like he's like a step away from like stealing sugar packets to take home with him.
The only time I get free samples is when I go to Costco, so none of my other grocery stores give away free
Whole
samples.
Foods gives out mad free samples.
I gotta start
But
going
then
to Whole
you
Foods.
gotta buy something at Whole Foods. Trader
I buy
Joe's is the
everything
way.
at Whole
Trader
Foods.
Joe's is the way to
Trader
go with
Joe's
the free
gives samples,
samples.
too.
All
Yeah.
right, that's what I'm gonna
You get a
start
little
doing.
shot of coffee and then whatever they're
Yeah.
serving.
Yeah.
I call that a cheap
Noted.
lunch. That's what
I
I
bring
call
my
that.
son there for lunch sometimes.
Just
Just a
It's
sample.
fun. Just go to different stations and Costco, you can make a thing out of it. You know how big that
Every
warehouse
day.
is?
That
Every
is
day
fair.
you go to Costco for lunch.
But to
Just
bring us
saying.
back, speaking of every day, Manny, who lives with Jay every day,
Yes.
he gets roped into. They can't all be winners, guys. All these transitions.
That one was really rough.
That was a
lengthy one.
You missed
Good.
the
Yes.
But he ropes Manny. He ropes Manny into this, and I love this whole this cardboard cutout that won't die. Like it's
I
this
can't
triple
get- yeah.
that was
laminated,
cool.
this
That was
triple
cool.
laminated
That was funny.
waterproof cardboard cutout.
Again, sitcom-y, but
Yeah.
not as
But
bad.
that one was cute.
Not as
Yeah,
bad. I
I thought
liked
that
it.
was funny.
I liked it.
And
Yeah.
the water, and she just like pops up. Like,
Yeah,
kisses.
that was really funny.
It was
That
really
was cute. And there was the idea, and then obviously Gloria.
She gets in the car.
Gloria thinks it's Auntie Anne. It's not Auntie Anne.
Auntie Anne's,
Auntie
yeah.
Anne's. Yeah. Why am I thinking that sounded like a thing that already exists? They did a great job naming Great job
Isn't there,
naming
like,
it.
a
Probably
pretzel
thinking
place?
of. It is. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
It's like a pretzel place.
yeah, the
in the
pretzel
mall,
place.
right?
That is a
place,
thing.
yeah.
Pretzel place, and then
I was
hot
thinking
sauce
Aunt
and-
Jemima's, but no, you're right. It is a pretzel thing.
I was like, wait, I feel like that's
But
a
that-
pretzel place in the mall.
But she immediately blames Auntie Anne, and
Mm-hmm.
I think Auntie Anne's gonna die.
Well, wait, there's a florist.
She's
You
going to
couldn't
pay.
Remember.
She is going to pay.
Tell them
I
no
want blood.
tulips. I said no roses, right?
That was very attractive just to
Yes.
watch it. Whenever she gets gangster like that, I'm like,
Yeah.
I always like that too.
I love that she speaks in Spanish. Like, I can't tell what the heck she's saying,
I
but
know.
it's like just
And
so
the
like,
subtitles don't tell you.
Yeah.
No.
So that's
No.
a trick. That's a trick around here.
Yeah.
That if a character speaks in another language, you can tell whether you're supposed to know by
Yeah.
whether the subtitles translate the language or
Yeah.
not.
Yeah.
Speaking
love
of
it.
Sofia
I learned
Vergara, who
Spanish.
plays Gloria,
Yes.
I think
and
we got
Spanish.
us some
Now
news
look.
and gossip.
look at that.
Yes.
That was a good segue.
So yeah, that was a good one.
Segue.
TV news.
Da, da, da. So I don't know if you guys watched the Grammy Awards. We
Never
just had
heard
the
of it.
Grammy Awards on Monday. And
Grammys. That's the one with the
Grammys,
music.
Music.
Yes.
Yeah.
Music.
Music Awards.
Okay.
Yeah. Sofia Vergara gave a surprise guest performance in the finale with Pitbull.
I saw that.
Yeah, I'm sure you did. She got up there and did a little dancing. It was pretty saucy. It was
It was so
great.
saucy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
I'm-
That's the only exciting thing. So if you haven't seen it, go on YouTube and check it out because it's pretty cool.
But what is this Grammys you speak of?
The Grammys.
I'm making
I'm
a joke that I don't know what the Grammys. I know what the
understand
Grammys
what
are. I just don't care.
Just make sure you watch the Oscars.
I will.
Moving
God,
on.
God
The
willing,
Oscars.
God willing,
It's
God willing,
movies,
I'll be
right?
covering them here.
Speaking of covering, what?
Oh, I thought you had a.
Covering, hovering,
Oh,
Phil's hoverboard?
okay.
Yeah? No?
I
Maybe?
wasn't.
That was
No?
No,
I
that,
tried.
that's
I
good.
tried.
No, that's a good
I
segue.
tried. I tried.
That's a good segue, and those hoverboard things are sometimes called my segways.
Yeah.
That's
that
one of the
right?
brand. There are a lot of brands of
One of the
those.
brands. Yeah, they had the funky duck in this episode.
Is that
That's
is
what
that an
it's
actual
called,
That's a
brand?
brand, yeah.
Ah.
I've seen
They
that
paid
one
for
get the
that
biggest promotion.
episode.
Then yeah, they did.
America. What's wrong with walking places?
Modern Family brought to you by.
But then he called it a hoverboard at the end, so maybe Funky Duck didn't have enough
They
money
didn't pay
to be
enough
like,
for the whole episode.
yeah,
Two things.
get one
Two
shout out.
America.
One-
America. Two things. One, that's not a hoverboard. Two,
Wait, what do you mean it's not a hoverboard?
a hoverboard will
What's a
hover. A hoverboard is in
Do you
Back
know-
to the Future 2.
Do you know they have a real
it-
hoverboard? A lot of
I
people don't
think
know
those
this. You
things-
can
That's a lie.
YouTube Tony Stark rides a hoverboard, and you'll. I'm
Tony,
not lying.
do you mean Elon Musk?
Huh?
Tony Stark rides a hoverboard?
Yes. Yes.
Tony
YouTube.
Stark of Iron Man.
No. Oh, I said. I
You
meant
mean
Tony
Elon-
Hawk.
Tony
I
Hawk.
meant Tony Hawk.
All right.
Wait, but don't those things like blow up? I thought they recalled
No,
all of
it's-
those. They like
Different
randomly
manufacturer.
blow
There are
up.
there are
Different
like 7 different manufacturers
Okay.
to those things. All I'm
More than
saying
7.
is, America, it's fine to walk. Walking's fine. Those things don't get you there much faster.
I don't know. My
But they're
favorite part
fun.
is when he gets stuck in a circle.
You have
That
to wait
is-
till the
That's
battery
sometimes.
dies. That's a real thing. No, it's not.
It's not a real
Really?
thing. Which is why one product didn't want their name on the thing the whole time, because they were making fun of how lame these things are.
Ah,
But we're gonna talk about Phil and Claire
yeah.
and how Claire has become a successful white man.
Yes.
How did
Finally.
you feel about that as a successful white man yourself?
Thank you.
Are you
First off,
successful?
exactly on successful. Thank you. I'll take it. I'm not a fraud. I have leather-bound books in my lobby, and that smells of mahogany.
Did you feel
Right.
Or
like
my
the
library.
butt of a joke and victimized?
Not at all.
Victimized.
Okay.
The plight of the successful rich white male. It's a rough world out there for you guys.
I mean, everybody has their problems.
Sorry.
That Claire learned that
And people just laugh at you and make jokes about it and put it on national TV.
Claire learned that the problem she's encountering is that everyone assumes you'll just be amazing at your work, at
that
what
what
you've
she
been
learned?
tasked with. That's what she learned. That
So do you feel that sometimes you're brought to standards that you can't hold?
never, because I'm exceptional. But I could see other people,
Ah,
other people.
successful white men.
Might feel
You-
that
your
way.
words, not mine. I don't. I don't
Might
see
feel
myself
that
that
way.
way. That's how society sees me. I'm just Steve.
Yeah.
Whatever that means to you.
Like, you feel stereotyped sometimes?
Sometimes.
Guys, if you would like to send Steve some positive words of encouragement, you can find him on Twitter and on Instagram at Steve Kauffman. Thank you.
We'll be starting a Kickstarter campaign.
Yes. No, we're
Flight of the White Man.
No, we're not starting a Kickstarter. I'm just putting my PayPal out there. I'm just putting my PayPal out there so they can just give me money directly.
Okay.
Love it.
That's what people who identify as me would do. But Phil, up until this episode, successful white male.
Yes. I would say so.
Like, I'll put that on. I'll put that on him.
He's got a beautiful wife, three nice kids,
realtor, job.
He's a realtor.
Yeah,
job,
but it's not
house.
like she's been working for quite a while. You know, like she's been doing stuff, and
now she's the boss.
Yeah, but
everything
she's always
changes
kind of been
when
the
boss. Everything.
I can attest to that. That it's one thing to be someone who works at a place, and you can complain all day up and down of like they should do this, they should do that, they should do this.
But
when the
then
buck
you
stops,
become they.
Yeah, when you become they, it's terrifying because you don't get that right to complain anymore.
Successful white male talking
I
right
know.
now.
I don't really work often.
I'm trying to explain.
No. I'm sorry. We're trying to empathize with you here, but I mean, it's just lack of experience. That's all.
Lack of experience. We don't get it. We don't get what
it.
it's like to be a white man in corporate America.
No, but you guys. No, but you guys do get it. I picked the wrong day to wear a tie. That's what this is. I can say all I want, but they look over at me and I'm wearing a tie.
It's
and I don't,
like you knew.
And then like the guy who covers pro wrestling is wearing a tie. Like we're already confused.
Yeah.
If you had shaved today, it would have been even more confusing.
Because I would have looked 12.
Well, yeah, but also like clean shaven white
He's got
man
the hair
in a
like
suit.
whipped over.
Yeah.
Classic.
Anyway, do we think Phil?
not nice to you.
I think Phil is a wonderful trophy husband.
I think he is too. I love
would
when
be
he's
happy to
like
have one as a trophy.
noticing that he's like the trophy husband. He's like hiding his necklace. It was
I thought that was funny.
Yeah, it was funny. It was a cute scene.
I don't know that the hoverboards come with keys though. That was my one.
Yeah,
They
that was.
don't.
Yeah, because
That's
my
not
sister got one, and it's like it didn't come with a key, dude.
Like,
So-
what does the key do? Like it unlocks it?
It
No.
turns it on and
Doesn't
off.
do anything.
I don't.
There's
They
no
don't.
button
They don't
for
make
it?
keys to those
I
things.
don't think they do.
It like beeped.
I almost had a job selling those things, and I just couldn't do it because they're so
Oh, were
late.
you talking to one of the guys on Hollywood Boulevard?
Well, no, I would have. I was in talks to be.
Come on now, you're.
One of the
No,
guys
I-
on Hollywood.
I was in talks to be one of those guys,
Even
but like
better.
I literally couldn't bring myself to sell those because like it's literally a product I would never own.
No.
Because
Because it's the
there's
epitome of
nothing.
laziness.
Because there's nothing wrong with my feet or legs.
It's really fun though.
So
You should
one
try
of
it.
one can go in front of the
I don't
other.
know. They're pretty dangerous.
You gotta
I
wear.
didn't die.
You gotta wear helmets now.
Yeah, probably.
I didn't wear a helmet.
What am I?
I'm a rebel.
Oh, jeez.
Anyway,
Oh, jeez.
do you guys have any final thoughts on this episode?
Are we doing favorite lines?
Thoughts. Do we have favorite lines?
I'm sure we all have favorite
Sure,
lines.
there's favorite lines. I guess I struggled to find a favorite line this episode. I felt like this whole episode was a bit of a stretch, to be honest.
This was a bit of a.
I would just say nothing important happened in this episode.
Yeah.
I would say that.
But a show like this, the characters can't grow every time.
That's true too.
So like
Right.
you have to have an episode like this where, and I think this season we've been a little spoiled where they've spaced it out enough where one character will grow and then two characters will just spin
Right.
their wheels. So every episode will have a bit more meaning. Whereas this week it's just like every character's just completely spinning
Yeah.
their wheels.
Yeah.
And I mean, Claire grew into the job. I know that's not as much weight as the episode where she got the job.
But I think that's where my issue was. It was a bit of a stretch because I feel like Claire's character has always been this like really strong, like kind of in charge of Phil anyways.
Yeah.
And so for the whole episode to be like, now she's like the man of the house, I'm like, let's be honest. She was always the man of the house.
Yeah, but I mean, I can't completely like agree with you because when you step up to the position, it makes sense
I
to
get
be a
there was an
sense of
adjustment
nervous.
and
Yeah.
like her like going, you know, like the only genuine scene I felt like was when she was going in and she was like, I still feel like a little kid
Yeah.
hiding under my dad's desk. Like that was real to me. The like stuff with Phil, I feel like their dynamic of their relationship was already that. So then to like make that a change that's happening in this episode was kind of...
Well, because they
I feel like it fell flat a little
They
bit.
wanted to do a complete gender swap. Because up until then, Phil's character in general, up until this episode, was...
Not the man of the house.
But like, but it investigated what it means to be the man of the house and what it means to be a modern man in this society. That like,
Modern Family.
Yes, see. But like to be, because Phil's character is always like to be a really cool dad and like someone who runs the house isn't necessarily can go outside and chop wood or drink whiskey until you work your shift and drink whiskey. It's know how to turn the Wi-Fi on and get the printer to work and like be up to date with all the newest tech. Like that's kind of what the role of
modern man
the
is.
modern man, the modern dad.
I still feel like it's a bit of a stretch because I feel like
you also need to nurture
really
ducks.
wasn't like just character-wise. You know what I mean? Like character-wise, I feel like it was like I get what they were doing there and it worked. But it felt a little inauthentic because
he was squeezed into that a little.
Because like both of them, I think were squeezed into that. Like there wasn't this. I think it would have made sense for like Jay and Gloria to have this. If Jay and Gloria had this same interchange, I think it would have been hysterical 10 times fold because it would have been more authentic for their characters. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah,
Does that make sense?
Yeah. I was gonna do a weird segue to end, and I was like, I don't have it.
The only line of the night I had was when. This is probably the only part I really laughed out loud was when Cam and Mitch were both like stuck up at the top looking at the creepers, and he was like, "I broke the head off. Maybe they won't notice." And Cam says, "Yeah." He seems like a real casual interest.
That was the one I know. That was the one I had a star on.
So mine is also a Cam and Mitch. My favorite line is also a Cam and Mitch line for tonight when they were standing out front of their door, the Wilkerson's door. And they're looking at each other, and Mitch goes, "She did not just say help." Okay, so you heard it too. I was like, that's a perfect response. Like, that was perfect. Like, I love their chemistry. Yeah. It's awesome.
But yeah, Lindsey took mine.
Sorry.
So, I think that wraps us up. That wraps us up. We'll be here next week talking about some more Modern Family. In the meantime, Khaliel, where can the people find you?
The people can find me at Khaliel Abooboo on Twitter and Instagram.
And they can find me, Lindsey Miller, at Rockin' Mama Life, everywhere.
And you guys can find me on Twitter exclusively at Steve Kauffman. That is KAUF
exclusive
MANN. It
feels so much more important when you say it
comes with being a successful white male.
And if you're into Suits, which is a show about mainly successful white men, I'm covering that show later on tonight. And stick around. It might even be in this very room. And thank you so much for joining us.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.